Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Rahman Tutorials. In this video we will be discussing about our environment chapter 15 class 10 part 1. Ecosystem is a short form for ecological system. It comes from the word ecology. Ecology is the study of the interaction of living and non-living things. Living things in an ecosystem are called biotic components. For example, plants, animals, insects, microorganisms, and even human beings. Non-living things in an ecosystem are called abiotic components. For example, air, water, sunlight, nutrients, and temperature. So, a pond is an example of ecosystem. We have observed that there are many different types of things formed in the ecosystem, like microorganisms to insects and plants. These living things depends on non-living things like water, sunlight, temperature, air, and nutrients for their survival. Can you give me another example of an ecosystem? Well, the ocean is also an example of ecosystem. It consists of countless number of living organisms as well as non-living things. An ecosystem can be small, such as the area under a rock. Here you will find biotic components like microorganisms and insects, and abiotic components like soil, nutrients, and air. An ecosystem can also be as big as our planet Earth. Although different ecosystems may have similarities and differences from one another, they all contain biotic and abiotic components. We also have artificial ecosystems, for example, a park, a garden, a zoo, or even an aquarium. Hey buddy, can you give me a bite? No. If I tell you something about pizza and food, would you give a piece? Yes? Tell me where all the food comes from. Wow, you are right. We humans get all our food from plants and animals. Let me tell you more about food. Plants are only living species who makes their own food. They make their food by utilizing sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, and chlorophyll present in them by the process called photosynthesis. All other species like animals and humans are dependent on plants. See, the giraffe is eating. Species that eat plants only are called herbivores. Oh no! The giraffe is attacked by the lion. It killed the giraffe and eating it. Species who eat other animals only are called carnivores. So you have seen that plants make their own food, animals eat plants, and other animals eat those animals who eat plants. So all are dependent on plants. This is also called food chain. It starts from the plants. In the food chain, plants are known as producers as they produce food. The species which eat plants are called as primary consumers. The species who eat animals dependent on plants are called as secondary consumers. Now, there is one more part of this food chain. These are fungi and bacteria in soil. When animals die, these fungi and bacteria will decompose their dead bodies. They become nutrient. These nutrients are utilized by the plants to make food. So here, when lion dies, its body is decomposed by bacteria in the soil and it turns into nutrients. Then these nutrients are again used by plants. These fungi and bacteria are called as decomposers. Decomposers are important part of food chain. Let's see other food chain. Here rat eats accounts, food come from the plants, and snake eats rats, eagle eats snakes as well as rats. When eagle dies, it gets decomposed by fungi and bacteria present in the soil and converts into nutrients, and plants use these nutrients to produce food. The food chains which we saw, which has one producer, one primary consumer and one secondary consumer, are called simple food chains. Actually, life is not so simple. Look at this picture. It is very complex. Look at the rat. It can be eaten by cat also, or may be eaten by snake or owl. Plant can be eaten by goat or rabbit. These kind of complex food chains are called as food web, as they are very interconnected like a spider web. So, you know now a lot about food, food chain and food web. Now can you give me a piece? I was so tired and hungry and wanted energy to continue. Do you know why we need food? No? Okay. You know we need food to get energy. Energy is required by human beings and plants for growth, movement. Similarly, when species reproduce, they need energy also to grow up and grow old. Old tissues get damaged and new cells produce. This process is also need energy. From where this energy comes from? Most of the living species use sun's energy. This energy is transferred to body via the food they eat. Sun gets light energy which is used by plants to make their food by photosynthesis. These plants have eaten by primary consumer and energy is transferred to them. Now secondary consumers eat this primary consumer and energy is transferred to them. So, this giraffe gets all the energy from plants, which plants get from the sun, or this lion gets its energy from giraffe, which giraffe gets its energy from plants. Actually, 90% of energy is lost when it passes to one part of the food chain to the other. Like 90% of energy is lost when giraffe eat plants. Similarly, 90% of energy is lost between giraffe and lion. Look at this pyramid. It is called energy pyramid. This shows that energy available becomes lesser and lesser as we move on the top of the food chain. To understand this energy pyramid, let's assume that plants absorb 1000 units of energy from the sun. When giraffe eat 90% energy is lost. So giraffe only get 10% of energy. This means energy transfer from plants to giraffe is 100 units out of 1000 units of the plant's energy. Now when lion eats giraffe, 90% of energy is again lost and lion gets only 10 units of energy. So now you know more about food and energy. Can you give me one more bite? No. You already have so much energy. I need food to get energy. Sorry, buddy. No.